There we go. Thank you. Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm the director of junior affairs for SWE, and this is the Marketing Yourself in Person and Online, How to Build Your Brand seminar workshop. It shouldn't be too long, but should be really fun. All right, first thing, for everyone that just hopped on, sign this QR code to um, access the sign-in sheet, and the QR code is also going to be at the end if you miss it. So I'll leave this for like a few seconds. And yeah, it's good stuff. So again, the sign-in sheet is at the end of the PowerPoint as well. So branding basics. This is going to be our first little team activity. No teams, but just participation from the audience. First, I just want to go through all these brands and just people can shout out or put in chat or anything. Just what comes to your mind when you think of these brands. So I guess the first is just Apple.
Bougie.
What do you think? Bougie?
Phones.
Phones, okay.
I guess electronics is an obvious one.
Well, like design as well. And the next brand is Toyota, the car company.
Durable. Old. They run forever.
Yeah, I was literally just going to say cars.
Yeah. So kind of durable, last a long time cars. Then Tesla, a newer company.
Bougier.
Electric.
Innovative.
Yeah, futuristic, innovative, yeah.
Sleek. Aesthetic.
Yeah.
Anybody
Okay.
else? You can also unmute yourself if you have anything.
Yeah, totally. Anyone else, if they want to hop in, you can put it in the chat or you can just say it, unmute yourself. Both options work. Next is McDonald's.
Yum.
I'm hungry.
American. True.
Fast.
Never any ice cream because the ice cream machines are always broken.
Yeah. And last is Nike.
Athletics.
Swoosh.
Shoes.
Just do it.
So all of these companies with just their logo and their name, you were able to kind of bring up a mental picture of what the company is in your head, and that is the basis of a brand, and that is also a property that can be applied to just yourself when you're doing interviews and just in your life in general. So brand you. Branding is a platform for growth. It's how people form their opinions about you, and it drives decision making and loyalty from your coworkers, your managers, and all of the people in your life. It's not self-promo, it's just who you are. And your brand precedes you. It's the first thing that people think of when they think of you. And you might not even be in the room for that to happen. So everything you do adds or subtracts from your brand. So you have to always be kind of conscious about what you're doing and how you're presenting yourself, especially in a business scenario. And obviously, you need to shape this narrative or risk others doing it for you. If you aren't proactive about showing how reliable you are, how will people know that you're reliable? And you want to know who you are and what you stand for. And the best way to do that is just by being authentic to yourself and really reflecting and figuring out who you are. So the three easiest markers for identifying your unique value, which is where your brand lives, is your core values, which is your beliefs. It guides your behaviors, and this doesn't typically change over time. And the second thing is your strengths, which is your talents, skills, and experiences. And the third is your passions, which are your interests and aspirations and the things you would do if you could do anything in the world. And these are your unique value, which is how you're proud of what you do, you're gifted at what you do, and you feel most alive when you do these things. And thinking and reflecting on this is where your brand lives and how others view you. So it's gonna be a fun little short break activity that we're gonna do real quick. It's called brainstorming. So we have this guide of words that describe people, and just take a few minutes to kind of think about the words that you think describe you, and just when you're ready, just put the mark the yes reaction in the participants list. And yeah.
2 words in general or 2 words pulled from this list?
Oh, this list is like a jumping off point, but if you
Okay.
have other words that describe yourself, to go for it, and then if you want to, we can share afterwards.
Thank you.
Again, not to derail thoughts, but when you're done, hit the react, do the reactive yes in the participants list. All right, we're about almost everyone's done it now. Does anyone want to start sharing any of your words through chat or with your mic? Ambitious and dedicated, nice. My words are ambitious, analytical, and dependable. Learner and listener, nice. Awesome, yeah. These are all really great. And your brand is already out there, so you need to be deliberate about if you want to change anything. And the easiest way to do this is to click on the screen, is to take your 2 to 3 words and make an affirmation for yourself. So an example of this would be, I'm a confident, creative, powerful leader with flair. And you want to define, write down, and live with this statement for about 3 weeks. And when you live it, people will notice, and your qualities become apparent to people within about the first 30 seconds of meeting somebody. So by living these words, you're putting your best foot forward to like everybody you meet. So an action item, if you're having some trouble with the words that you were thinking of, or you just want to have some different perspectives on yourself, ask 3 different people to use a list similar to this to describe you. So someone older than you or more higher up in a position at your company or school, someone junior to you, and someone at the same level as you. And you can kind of see how people of all different stages in their careers compared to you look at you and perceive you. So that's something you can do after this.
Something
So
my manager had me, I'm so sorry to interrupt. Something my manager had me do was do that, and then I made a word map. And it's kind of cool to see the word map since like repeated words are at higher frequencies when you do that, and they're like therefore like bigger. So it's kind of funny to see which ones are repeated from the visual.
yeah, that's great. That's a really great visual idea. I like word maps. They're really fun. So going on to the next part, it's some tips for online interviews because that's where we are right now. They're pretty much exactly the same in my experience as in-person interviews with the STAR questions, which is situation, task, action, response, which is a lot of resources for those types of questions online. But they do have their own little quirks. So the first thing is the thing you want to do most, or first thing you want to do is make sure your computer camera is like level with your eyes by propping your computer on some books or something, because it's way more professional and feels like you're having a more true connection to someone when you're like this instead of being kind of like this. I had an issue, and it's also difficult sometimes to just talk with him because I had an interview where the guy's camera was over here and he was like this staring at me. So I was looking at his ear the entire interview, and I had to think so hard, okay, just keep smiling at the camera because he's looking at my face. And it's just stuff like that. It makes it a little bit wary to do the interview. And then two, you have your resume out if you're nervous. It's a lot more easy to do that in an online interview since they can't see your desk or anything. So if you want to make sure that you hit some notes that you really want to remember to talk about, totally just do that. Third, you want to sit up straight or stand to exhibit a confident posture. You don't want to be slouched over or anything. And four, make sure your background is clean and undistracting. If I was in an interview, I probably wouldn't have my closet door open or any other doors in the background, lights, crazy stuff. You want them to be focusing on you, not trying to figure out what's behind you. And five, dress up professionally from the waist up, at least. They'll still be seeing you, so it's the same as if you came up to a job interview in a t-shirt in person if it's online. I know some jobs, like I know computer science is a lot more laid back, but you still want to dress as professionally for your field interviews as possible. And some people are totally fine with just wearing pajama pants, but I've found that dressing up fully, like putting on slacks, really helps me feel more confident and feel more professional. So that's something else that it's like going a little extra, but it's totally worth it. I feel like to just bring your full best self. And now with online interviews and stuff, a lot more business things is online as well. So your LinkedIn is just growing even more important every year, it feels like. So these are some tips about having the best LinkedIn profile you can have. This is a good little checklist, and obviously these meeting notes will be posted in Slack to reference later, so you don't have to take any notes or anything. So the first thing, it might sound silly, but add a professional photo. It adds your credibility and offers a great first impression for people. And you want this picture to reflect your brand. If you say you're detailed, make sure you look detailed. Make sure your jewelry's coordinated. You want to look like your brand says. You want to stand out and give a great first impression. Two, write an attention-grabbing headline. Your headline should describe what you're doing now or where you want to see yourself in the future. These are two examples. Mechanical engineering student excited about automotive opportunities, and computer science student seeking web development internships. So they're short, to the point, technically not a full sentence, but it gets the idea across. Then you want to add skills and endorsements, at least 5 skills you want to be adding. And your connections can actually endorse you for these things. So your old boss at your internship can say, yeah, they are really good at project management. They did great in MATLAB. And then LinkedIn reports that profiles with at least 1 skill listed get 13 times more views in active job search, which is pretty big for just 3 words, you know. And then you want to create a summary to tie it all together. The summary is just a little paragraph that sits at the top of your LinkedIn page. And it ties your experience, personality, and top skills together. And essentially, it's a chance for you to explain your brand. And you want to use your summary to describe your trajectory. So where will your skills, experience, and future goals take you? And lastly, you want to build your LinkedIn network. You want to connect thoughtfully, though. So you want to be connecting with friends and family, classmates and alumni, professors, internship and co-op mentors, coworkers and leaders in your organizations, and also professionals in the fields that you're interested in. You can get a lot of really great experience just by connecting with somebody and just asking, hey, what do you like about your job? So I have a friend who was able to actually talk with someone that works in Disney as some electrical engineering position, which was the exact position that he wanted to get. I was able to talk to somebody that was in that role at the moment about what he needs to be doing. And he was able to make that connection through LinkedIn, just finding people and connecting. And where can you connect with people? On the SWE LinkedIn Slack channel. You connect with your fellow SWEsters. And there's already a ton of people that have their LinkedIn's posted, but I definitely recommend just going in and clicking all the links and just connecting with everybody. So here's the sign in again for the people that showed up a little later. And I also have a little Kahoot refresh if we all want to do that. It's pretty fun. So I will leave this up real quick so people can scan the check-in and okay, so let me pull up the Kahoot. Here's the code. Hit my screen share. There's 2 more people. I'm gonna get started. Alright, yeah. So your brand is affected by your actions and what you do. All right. Looks like Claire is in the lead. Whoop, whoop. You still want to dress up over a video call to make a good impression. Claire is still killing it. Awesome, yeah. Looks like nobody chose your job, which is great because your brand, it lives in you and should not be changing every time you switch a job. Congratulations, Cassidy. Answer streak 3. And Kayla went in the lead. Awesome. Yes, LinkedIn channel, very obvious. Also, a bit of self promo. Any juniors, if you're not in the Juniors 2021 channel, please join in. Yeah, we're gonna hopefully be having some fun events coming up right after midterms to kind of decompress. Alrighty. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. Anyone else that needs the sign in, don't forget to sign in. I'll leave this up, but that's all I had. Thank you so much for coming to this presentation.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.